guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are back for our second Patreon one-shot. This one is the fourth and
Yes.
possibly final episode in the
Fifth?
McCarthy saga. Fifth?
I think it's Jesus is the fifth.
There was the mansion, the mall,
Then all, and
Two
then, this is
and then
bosses.
two
This is the
hospital
third.
ones. You're
Yeah,
right.
this is the
Holy
third.
shit. This is the fifth and possibly final episode in the McCarthy saga. And this time I believe Iquin's trying to kill all of us, both in character and out of character. So if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is like these fine folks over on our Patreon. Link for that in the description down below. Join us at the $5 tier. You get access to all of our after shows where we talk about the episodes we just did. Join us at the $10 tier. You get access to all kinds of behind-the-scenes chats, Ask Me Anythings, and also our prep streams. As always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Iquin does whatever the hell he wants to us. It's always terrible in this game. And two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to this channel for cool things like art, overhead costs, podcasting, etc. So if you want to help the channel grow, that's a great way to do that as well. That being said, Iquin, be gentle with us.
Thank you. Well, thank you. You know what is going to happen, no, Mike? You know how you love my transformation
It's
into
my favorite.
the keeper. Sorry to say there will be no mask today because I need to wear glasses, but the robe is on. I have my sleeves. I have my danger drink. And I also have my recap of what's happened because we've been playing this one shot over 2 years now. So I thought for new viewers, welcome. I am the keeper, which is usually known as the game master or dungeon master, but in Call of Cthulhu it's the keeper. I will not keep to all of the rules because I like the more flow of things, but essentially this is Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. And I am taking this nice group of investigators, minus one who couldn't be here tonight, but we have that fixed, through a horrible adventure that's going to descend into madness. But how did everything start? Well, we find ourselves here, and I'm going to recap not all of the saga, but I'm going to recap the 3 episodes that has led up to this point. Having met up with Teddy McCarthy in a motel at the edge of town, and meeting Jen, played by G, a friend of their deceased friend Becca, who were played by G before I killed her, our investigators moved their investigation to the site of Boston General Hospital, where we currently are, where a whole ward has been created for a new strange exotic illness going around Boston. There, they snuck in under the pretense of being psychologists. I think it was like 2 years ago, so I can't really remember. And it made it to the psychology ward where they met 2 very strange and very hostile orderlies, as well as a square crazy doctor. Fleeing up to the 5th floor, which also happens to be the top floor of this hospital, our investigators found it to be a weird place where there's a purple moonlight shining in through all the windows, which they still refuse to look out through, no matter the cardinal direction of said windows. There is also a purple soot in the air, but it vanishes as soon as it touches the floor. And also, there's a horde of zombies. Managing to circumvent the horde of zombies, the doctor, the orderlies, our investigators take help from a mindful friend of Freddy, the unfortunate player who couldn't be here tonight. And they speak to Freddy through Freddy's mind and get some rough direction to where to head in this floor. Along the way, some documents that get discovered and handed off to Maka, our nice character played by Snow, and for interpretation. Saying that the black goo that Danny, played by Mike, has been infected with in some sort of treatment that is experimental and comes from the Femeye Intelliapta Corporation. You also find some vials of said goop. When they make it to the office of Dr. Viola Campton, they find a woman there, sniveling in there, trying to hide underneath her desk. Well, neither Jen, a trained police officer, nor Danny, art dealer, will buy her sob story, and thus they have revealed Viola Campton herself. Jen takes a shot at her, dropping the body dead to the floor in an instant. Thinking that would have conquered the witch, it turns out it's not much so. Our investigators watch they see the spirit of Viola Campton rise, with haunted, elongated features, double-jointed arms as long as a tall human, with sharp talons at the end of her elongated fingers, madly laughing, cackling as she sets her focus on Danny, drifts over. And in an instant, she managed to possess Danny's body. And here's where we pick up again, with Maka and Jen standing just out of reach in a hallway with an open office door, with Freddy furiously drawing a magic circle on the hallway floor outside the office, with Danny standing there laughing like a madman, and with the heavy footfalls of 3 sets of running feet and a horde of shuffling, drawing ever so close. My dear investigators, what do you do?
I cackle,
That's a lot.
apparently.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
So do we see this horde of shambling zombies yet?
No,
I
you
know
can
we
hear
had
them.
snuck around.
They are, if you remember, we are in the square donut, as you lovely named my hospital ward. They are right around the corner. So you had like the area where you came up was at one of the sides in the middle. And then you went like in a right-hand turn around everything, ending up at the opposite corner diagonally pretty much from where you entered. And what you can tell is that the whole horde of baddies are coming right so much about the corner, taking a left-hand turn instead. So they're going to turn around the corner, and then it's just one straight, and then they will head into your corner where you currently are. You have seconds to prepare.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
The
One
zombie
more
horde will be slower, but what you would assume would be the doctor and the orderlies are much faster. They are human speed, while the zombies are more shuffling in a horde. Do reminder, there was at the last time I remember, I think it was 24 zombies after you had managed to bring one down.
remind me, Iquin,
Mhm.
dear keeper.
Yes.
We learned collectively, and fucked up subsequently, that you need to be alive in the ritual circle to have the ghost of the witch banished, right? And
Yes.
that's where we fucked up because G shot her in the face.
What?
G, yes. So what happened last time?
Wow,
Both
okay.
Danny and G drew guns. G, being the trained police officer, actually shot a shot at her because the woman that you know have figured out with very high certainty is Viola tried to reach for G, making physical contact. You know, as in grabbing her. Not having any of that, G shot her, and Viola went down. Like, she's human, and she was fired upon with point blank distance. So as she went down, you saw the like smoky ethereal form of the spirit of the actual witch leave the body that she was possessing. And as you were doing this, she drifted over to you, Danny, and picked you as the new host, and you tried to overwhelm her with your power, failed your roll,
Yep.
and thus got possessed.
That sounds right.
And Danny is sort of like right outside the circle, right in the doorway, because that's where you positioned yourself in the last game. And behind Danny is Freddy, furiously trying to draw a magic circle on the floor. Freddy knows, and I think it's fair to say that he passed on the knowledge that for his ritual to work that he learned in the McCarthy estate, they need to have the magic circle. He needs to read the right words, and the possessed person needs to be in the circle alive. So when he finished the spell, they get killed, and the person and the spirit both gets dragged down for judgment. That's how you sort of trap the spirit to send it off. Otherwise,
Okay,
it will just ethereal away.
Yeah, so we do. So we do know what Freddy is doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Freddy
I
has
know what
Freddy
I
has told you in no uncertain terms, because I watched the last episode, that he is trying to prepare for the spell, but it takes a while to draw a very intricate magic circle while he needs to like interpret it from the book he's holding and, you know, drawing, because this is the second time he's ever done it.
Okay. So
The footfalls is growing louder.
yeah, so as this possession is happening of Danny, and he's like cackling in Irish, he Jen looks over her shoulder at Freddy and goes, "How long is this gonna take?" To Freddy.
Freddy looks up and like can't do Necro's voice because it's so
damn it.
so British, but
You do an amazing British accent. I've heard
I
it.
do an amazing British accent in Tales of
Do
the
it.
Loop, but this is Cthulhu. Well, gents, this is well, gonna take longer if you try to disturb me. I'm drawing as fast as I can. I think I'm trying to embody the spirit of Freddy here.
Yeah.
Iquin, from memory, there's a staircase somewhere that the doctor and the two orderlies came up of. Is that anywhere near us?
No, the staircase they came up with, like you took the elevator. So it's like this elevator and staircase thing outside. So you have this square, and then tucked onto the outside of the building is the, what do you call it? Like the part of the building where staircase and elevators are. You took the elevator, and since you grabbed the elevator from them, they just rushed the staircase that was in that same area. So you have the square, and then you have like the built out like elevator and shafts and staircase shafts. So they are all behind the horde of zombies coming closer.
Okay.
Also, you have trapped 7 zombies in another office down the other side of the corridor from the last game.
Oh, I remember that.
Follow-up question, Keeper.
Yes.
Freddy's the only one who knows the incantation. Is that correct?
He is.
Yeah.
He kind of. He's the only one that has the notes that he's reading from that he got at the mansion. So you all, since you've been with Freddy, I would say that it's like with your intelligence as a normal human being, you could just grab the note from him and do what it says yourself, because it's more like Teddy McCarthy's instructions written down, like do this, do this, do this, read this, do this, do this.
Okay, Freddy. I mean, Danny just stands there. He's dying, and he's got a ghost in him. He's got. It's like it's the 1600s. He's got ghosts in his blood.
Yeah.
I think
We'll get to Danny, but yes, Maka, please. Sorry.
Maka squares his shoulders and aims square at the back of Maka and revisits his old rugby days and shoulder charges Danny into the room and shuts the door.
Right. I would say fighting maneuver. So you roll brawl, and I would say that Danny, I mean, you're kind of busy cackling away, so
Plus, if he hits me from behind, I don't think I would.
Yeah, exactly. I would say roll a spot hidden to see if your host currently, because your host is using your eyes, so it's your spot hidden to notice, to even get to dodge this. Because if you don't notice it, you can't really dodge it.
I don't.
No. So yes, Maka, you square your shoulders just in your old rugby days, remembering that really nice playoff, and you shoulder shake Danny, get flying into that room.
Yeah, and he shuts the door behind, looks at Becca, and just bolts down the corridor that they just came from.
Jen is in the room with Danny now because she went into the room behind the desk. So
that would change what I did. Sorry, I thought she was out
no. So the only one who's out are you and Freddy. Danny was kind of like entering the room, and then Jen went in and went behind the desk to find out, like to find Viola, because she was hiding behind the desk.
All right. So he would still do the same, but rather than shut the door, duck back into the corridor, hoping Jen acts quick enough to get out of there.
Right, we'll go to Jen. Suddenly, Danny comes flying into the room, sort of hits the desk, like pop. Still cackling.
She'll be like, "Shit!" And she will scooch around the desk and try and get out and shut the door.
I would say just roll me a normal dex.
A normal dex.
Yeah, normal dex.
Do.
You can, as we can bring up at this point,
Are you kidding?
either you can push, you can tell me what you do differently and roll again. And if you fail another time, terrible consequences. But you can also burn your luck. They are permanently burned, and 1 luck point lowers the result by 1. So you need 5. You need to burn 5 luck. You need to burn 5 luck to lower your score to a success. You might even lower a success to a better success. That is allowed when you burn luck.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not gonna. If anything, I'm just gonna move it to a straight success. I am tempted just to redescribe how she gets out and just do a flat reroll.
Sure, you can push it. If you fail once more, horrible consequences.
No, it's too early. I'm gonna spend the luck.
No, you don't spend. You just lower your luck by 5 points permanently.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. Since you pressed it without pressing the edit first, it rolled. So if I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. We're coming into this. It's been a while since we played Cthulhu last time. Yes. You try to squeeze back the desk. You see that Danny, with ungodly speed, snaps his neck to the right, looking at you, trying to reach out with now hands that looks very jagged fingernails. They look kind of both there, but also a bit ephemeral. As he reaches out, you shove yourself back, and by the skin of your teeth, you manage to luckily get past, not being touched, and get out of the room.
Like, don't touch me, you Irish bastard! And she's gonna hop out and then close the door.
We're gonna go to a close session with Danny. Inside his mind, Danny, what happened last game was that you tried to fight off the presence, but it was overwhelming. It was so strong. Your body burned, especially all the places where that black goop had singed in from this initial stab wound. It just burns and burns, and you got pushed, and now you find yourself in somewhere. It's not like darkness. You can see what's going on, but you can't control it. You can feel the feelings, but there's something else there controlling you. What would you like to do?
Can I sense this presence inside my body? Can I sense the ghosts in my blood?
Oh yes, you can. You sense that there's another will, a presence that shoves you to the back of the mind, sort of speaking.
Gotcha. He's gonna try to reach out to this other presence. Be like, "Oi, hello? Is there a ghost in my blood?"
Yes, little mortal.
Okay.
Yes, I am right here.
Okay, my name's Danny, first of all. Second of all, I would very much like for your ghostly business to be outside of my blood. Is there a possibility to get you out?
Why would I leave? You disgusting, filthy man. I can make good use of your flesh.
I don't know if you know this, but I have goo into my body. It was black goo put inside me. I also got stabbed several times. I'm also pretty prone to being stabbed.
The treatment is working. I can feel your mind slipping away. That worthless mind, no use to me.
All right, well that's fairly rude. I could, are you the kind of ghost that makes deals?
What could you possibly offer me at this point?
Could I have my legs for like 30 seconds?
No. Why would I give you any control?
Fine, lady. Then walk to the door, please. Just walk just to the window.
Are you going to try to force your will on Ponner, or are you?
No, he's asking. He's asking very nicely.
You're just asking. Okay,
yeah.
You're just asking very nicely. Oh, okay.
Just go to the door right there, the one you just got tossed into.
roll me a persuade.
Okay.
Because if you have the option to try to force your will, and then it would be a power roll. But since you're actually not
running his mouth is his strong suit, so he succeeds.
Yeah.
He succeeds very well. Just please, right at the door, right over there.
You're all going to die anyway. Be part of my puppet army, so why not? And you can feel. You don't do anything, but you do feel walking happening, and it feels odd. It feels like kind of like someone else is grabbing your feet and moving them, but there's no like external pressure. It's just that you don't want this, but it's still happening, and you can notice like you can still see out through your eyes, and you see how you walk over through that door.
Okay, so here's the deal I have for you. You're inside me, right? And I got a lot of bad goo and some stab wounds, and it's just a general bad time, right? I'm not doing too great on the health thing. But you see that guy right there? He is fairly healthy, right? And he's a nerd. You see, he's scribbling nerd shit. And he reads books, and he does spells. He knows like 2, 3, 4 spells. So I think you'd be better off in his nerdy spell body than my regular, I don't know, what did you say, disgusting human body. I'm just a regular, he is a wizard.
A wizard, you say?
Yeah, or whatever a man-witch is.
You can notice that your eyes are flicking down, looking at the circle, flicking back up. It's a super fast motion, and you can feel hesitation running through you. We're going to leave you there for now, and we're going to go back out to the exterior world again, where the orderlies and the doctor has made it around the corner, currently sprinting towards all of you down the corridor. And since we began with Maka, we'll go back to Maka. What would you like to do about this?
Is there any chance that when I shoulder checked Danny, he dropped his pistol?
I would say roll me a luck to see if you're lucky enough for him to have dropped his pistol. Yes. It's right there. I mean, it's so much in front of you, so you could easily just pick it up.
Yeah.
He doesn't even seem to have noticed it.
He picks it up, turns to Becca and what's Chris's character again? Freddy. Says, Bex, Rico, run, and he just bolts down the corridor.
You see him looking up like, I'm nearly finished. Just give me 10 more seconds. And
hurry up, Freddy, hurry up.
You bolt down the corridor. Right. You want to do something while you're running, or are you just bolting down? I'll allow you like firing of a gun or something as you run.
He's probably more likely to hit Freddy than anyone else, but he'll give it a shot.
All right.
Sorry, when you said you run down the corridor, are you running away from the bad guys or running towards the bad guys?
This is Cthulhu. You always run away from the bad guys.
Okay, so you're running away and you're leaving Freddy and Jen behind.
I told you to run.
Okay, I'm just clear.
So he said run, and it's up to you guys. Freddy answers, wait, I need 10 more seconds and I have this done. Yes, Maka, firearms skill. It's firearm handgun.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a failure, but it's fine. It's not a critical failure. It just means that the shot goes into a wall and nothing happens.
He's running, so the shot just goes wild.
The shot echoes out. As you're running away from the enclosing horde, you can hear that the zombies that you entrapped in the office are getting very loud. You hear moaning, scratching, bashing at the door. It's still holding, but the gunshots have riled them up. Jen.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can roll for bullshit over here, Iquin.
Roll for bullshit.
Our illustrious keeper here. I would like to know, is there like something like a fire extinguisher or any kind of fire suppressing system that I could shoot to possibly slow down or semi-incapacitate this charging group of doctors and orderlies?
They sure are fire suppressors, fire extinguishers on the walls because this is a hospital. So you could try to aim for and shoot one of them and see what happens. I'll allow that.
Sure. I will shoot one. I have a Glock. And I will do it. And I freaking fail. How is my thing only 10? How is that possible?
Look for your handgun skill, not your firearm skill.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's exactly.
Okay, sorry. Can I re-roll?
Yeah, yes. Roll with the correct skill.
Okay.
It's fine.
No,
We're on
are
there.
you kidding?
So last one shot, I mentioned one of my favorite rules being that doors in architecture open inward, and I love to use that when people run into them. This is another one of my favorites: is extinguishers don't explode.
Nope.
They just
So they can
empty.
like shoot like I'm
They just
thinking
empty.
shoot
They
like
just-
their suppressant shit all over the floor, and they'll be like
Yeah.
Yeah. They
slapsticks
just
flipping.
they just empty real fast. Is all they do.
Yeah, I don't know how it is in the US, but in Sweden, most extinguisher are powder. So if you hit that shit, you will have a mist in the entire room instantly.
Yep. Yeah. It's CO2 and powder. So it's just pressurized
okay.
powder.
Yeah, so that is the same thing in Sweden. So that's what I had in mind. Which was like, yeah, she's gonna shoot that, and you're gonna have a white powder in the entire corridor. But fortunately, she does miss. The shot just goes and you nick the top of the handle part, but nothing enough to break anything.
Yeah. Okay. What is okay? Is Freddy done yet? She's gonna. Oh fuck, Freddy, come on, let's go. We can't take them all. And how many orderlies? One doctor and how many orderlies?
2. It's the same 2, or at least you would say that it's the same 2 orderlies. If I remember correctly, one of them has like an unhinged jaw that is sort of like broken and just hanging there as well.
Yeah, I can't take that. Yeah, so she's gonna Freddy, run, and she's gonna book it after Maka.
Sure, you shoot that fire extinguisher, you scream to him, run, and you start to run away. I would say at that point, he's alone. This would have been so much easier if Chris would have been here, but I would say that in the interest of not killing off his character immediately, he will follow suit. So Maka, leading the charge, where are you running? I will get back to you, Dan, in quite a bit. Just a moment.
So we're in this square donut.
Yep.
So he will run to the end of the corridor as fast as he can, turn the corner, probably go back into the room that they originally came out of, if he can get around that far.
You've been in several rooms. So you've been in one room on this corridor, and that was the room that you entered in, and then you went out and trapped the zombies, or Freddy trapped the zombies in another. That's in this corridor. The corridor that is the next one, you didn't do much at all. You just passed it. It was some doors. Then you have the corridor where you came from. That's where the elevator and staircases are. That's where all the laboratory rooms that you went through, the ceiling ducts and such. You will not make it to the... Okay, yeah, you will not reach that this turn. You will reach the end of the other corridor. So you pass the door where you trapped all the zombies, and it's like you can see the hinges shivering from the force of the beating on that door from the inside. Still holding, though. And you make it in this round down to that corner. The purple glowing light coming in from all of your right side as the internal sort of building has this glow. And as I described, it's purple looking hellscape outside. It's kind of like Stranger Things, but more purple, and the suit doesn't like gather, it just disappears from everything. But it also has this tentacle thingy growing up outside of the building. Inside, no tentacles, no things like that, but the outside is like roots or something growing up. The suit is both inside and outside, and everything is just washed with purple light from all directions. Like, it doesn't matter what window you look out through, there's glowing like purple light from that window. So that's the current, like, where you are in space. Jen, you just follow. Do you want to do anything? Because you will also, in this round, make it down to the corner. Freddy being right behind you.
Sorry, me.
G-
Oh, I'm
yes.
sorry. I thought you were still talking to him.
No, Jen.
Yeah, she's gonna follow Maka for now, and what kind of like hospital gear / supplies are around here? Like gurneys, anything that can be used as like a weapon. Anything,
Yeah.
any what do you call oxygen tanks or anything like that? Anything
From the last time we went through this, I hope that I remember this correctly. But from what I remember that I planned and what I set out, they are a very like weird lack of all that kind of equipment. The corridors are very clean and like no gurners, there's no oxygen, there's like no nothing. The thing when you came up here is that this doesn't really look like a hospital ward at all, except for like the permanently affixed stuff and then the stuff that you found in the laboratories.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's just gonna shout at them. We have to take those guys out. Otherwise, where are we going? We can't leave.
So each corridor is roughly 120 feet, more or less. So at the moment, since you rush down before they made it to you, if you continue rushing, you will have kind of like 100 to 120 feet lead, depending on how much actions you do, or if you just take to run, and if they just continue to run. But so you have like one corridor stretch of lead time at the moment, which is not much, but it's something. Freddy catching up to you, like breathing heavily, like shit, I was so close, so damn close to finishing it. And as we leave, you panting in the corner, rushing down. Danny, any other plans? You are in front of the circle. The wizard kid got yelled at to leave, and you can see how your eyes sort of follow him, kind of like, uninterested, sprinting away down to your left.
Well, Danny doesn't have control of his body, so he's just going to continue doing what he has been doing, which is try to persuade this ghost that she doesn't want Danny, she wants Freddy. He says, "Yeah, no, that guy, he was with us the entire time, and he's one of the people that I think he helped free you from. You were locked in like a jar or some shit, or a Ouija board or something. I don't remember really. It was too much nerd shit. See, I don't have a brain for wizardry. I thought he was fucking lying the entire time. And here I see you're a witch ghost, which are both individually things I didn't think were real, and together I absolutely didn't think was real. But he did it the whole time. He believed it. Also, I've gone a little bit crazy. I'm afraid to look in mirrors and sometimes out windows. So it's really a bad brain. So even if you get my pesky voice out of your head, it's just not a very good brain and a failing body."
Silence!
No! It's so loud. I'm in here too. You silence. You chose to be in my brain. I'm the irritating one.
Roll a power check. She's trying to forcefully mute you in her mind because she's tired of you.
Is my power check augmented by how irritating I am?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, your power check is at penalty die because you have been injected with something that makes you a proper good target for her.
Love that. How do I roll at a penalty die? What do I do with that?
You roll, and then you should have bonus penalty coming up, and you click the link, and then you add a penalty die, and you roll, and it should roll again, and the worst of the two is your. So 56. So you miss by 1. Do you want to burn a luck, or do you want to try to do it again? A reroll is still at a penalty, but you can burn a luck, and then you will succeed. Because the 5 here is a 50, so it's 56 instead of 26 a penalty. That's how disadvantage for D&D terms works in Call of Cthulhu. And if you have a bonus die, it's the same way, but the better roll.
I'll spend 1 luck and succeed.
Well, excellent. She tries to silence you. You feel an overwhelming, maleficent presence burning down on you, trying to silence you. It's kind of like getting the words stuck in your throat, feeling that dry throat feeling. But somehow you kind of slip around it, making your will known into this body, and you're still there.
Yeah, it's like having any conversation with Jen. I get it. He's used to it. Hey,
pesky mortal.
listen, I told you, you chose the irritated one. I told you there's better ones, right? The nerdy boy, he's a wizard. And then there's the shooty gun lady. She's pretty sturdy. I don't know if she'd be good for you, but I'm telling you, the geek with the books, and he's your type. He does wizard stuff. Or man-witch things. I don't know. What's the term? Could you tell me? Is it warlock? Is that a druid? I don't know.
I will have this body.
I don't know why.
will have vengeance.
You're only yelling at me. There's only the two of us in here. And the one of us in this room.
As you talk to her, you suddenly notice as she looks up, and you have the two orderlies and the doctor looking like straight into your face.
Oh,
and
Christ.
you hear a weird mixture of your voice, since it's your what do you call them, cords in the throat, you call
Vocal
them something
cords.
else, vocal cords you call them, and it's a mix between your voice, since it's your vocal cords, but also that very high-pitched whiny voice that you've been hearing in your head, telling the orderlies and the doctor, go get them, kill them. I am soon in control of this one. And you see how the doctor just lights up in a very maniacal smile and nods, and so they just points, and the orderlies turn as one and just rushes down past you. All of them continue on into the hunt.
Well, I'll be fucked if I'm going out without a fight. I'll tell you that right now. Can you heal my stab wounds?
She laughs at you again. I don't need you alive. I just need your flesh to move. And you can see how she looks down and very carefully sidesteps the circle, not setting foot inside it, moving around it. She very calmly starts to walk down behind the orderlies in the corridor, going towards Maka, Freddy, and Jen.
I don't know if you know this, but you need the blood in the body for it to move.
Mortals. They think so highly about their life.
Just
Maka, we're moving back to you for now. Are you still running, or are you taking a stand?
He wants to run back to the room that we crawled through the vents into a room, and then we came out. He's heading back for that room.
Right. You can make it to that end of that hallway. Next round, you can enter that room and do something in it. But this round takes to run over there. Jen, Maka runs away towards the room you came out of after doing all the acrobatics through the vents. What are you doing?
Yeah, she's gonna follow him. Yeah.
Okay, and as we concluded, Freddy is just following you two. So when you start bolt, Freddy's behind you, and it's like, shit, they're coming for us. We're moving to the next part. You reach the room, and the door is still open. I mean, it can't be locked, so you enter into this room. It looks like it did before. It's some kind of laboratory, but it's kind of been cleaned out. There's some machines left in here, too heavy to move or just too unimportant to move to anywhere else. They're all turned off. There's no kind of like things going on in here. Everything is, tidied away, put up. But you can tell that this room has been designed to be some kind of lab.
Does it have a drop ceiling, Iquin?
It does have a drop ceiling because this is a hospital.
So Maka puts a table or something up so he can reach the ceiling tiles.
Yeah,
and he starts pulling them down and throwing them onto the floor.
Okay, easy enough. You start doing that, coming down. Jen?
Yeah,
you come into the room and you see him getting up on a table, starting to throw the parts of the drop ceiling down on the floor.
Yeah, she'll close the door after Freddy comes in and goes, "What's the plan?"
He just looks at Freddy. Freddy, draw your symbol on the top on the ceiling tiles.
I mean,
And he looks
sure,
at-
but it's an intricate symbol. I need a few minutes. That's why I wanted to finish where I was.
Get started.
Fine.
We didn't have time. And he looks at Jen and says, we might have to distract them for a bit.
She nods. Yeah, I kind of get that feeling. All right. And she's going to.
There wasn't anything obvious in the corridors, Eichmann. Is there anything that Jen was looking for in the corridors in here, like the oxygen bottles or anything like that? It is a lab.
No, that's like kinda. There's no oxygen bottles. That's what I meant by it's like being cleaned out. There's no like samples, no pressurized such things. There are the fire extinguishers. There are some machines. One of them might be small enough. There's like, one of those box machines that from the outside it kind of looks like a microwave oven, but there's no glass. There's just a box and it does something probably. That one might be easy enough for you to lift and throw. It's about the size of a microwave oven. There are the fire extinguishers. It's the vent parts where you came in. There's this, little grate that's in front of it that you've dropped down in metal. Beside that, it's mostly like the tables that you're currently using to get to the drop ceiling. There are some faucets that are there because they're wall mounted, of course. So,
are there any oxygen lines like hard built into the walls?
You know what? Yeah, an hospital would have oxygen lines into the walls.
Are
give you that.
Are there any hoses or anything that we can attach to that?
Roll me an investigation to see if you can find any hoses in here. I mean, they are underneath the tables and such. There are drawers that could contain those things. See if you can find anything.
What is
I think
investigation?
it's spot hidden in this game. Every time, too many systems. They all call it something else. Spot hidden is this one. Yeah, you look through. There's like nothing plugged in at the moment, and you like frantically start to just pull out drawers, throwing shit out that you don't need. It's like binders without anything in them. There are some like paperwork, pens, and then you come down to one drawer. You open, and there's like a bunch of hoses with what you see is like different connections. You just grab a bunch of them, and you're like, not this one, not this one, and click, and you find a hose that sort of clicks into place into the oxygen line.
So he'll just pull out the hose and toss it to Jen.
You
What am I
get a
supposed to do
hose.
with this?
You wanted oxygen?
Yeah. Right. Flamethrower, right? Where are my weapon or what are my possessions? Do I have a lighter?
Yeah,
I have a lighter.
We concluded last time that you do have a lighter.
It's in my possessions. Yeah, so I would like gonna create a pseudo flamethrower. I know I'm not gonna get like any kind of what do you call it, spray on it or anything like that, and you're kind of laughing because I know I don't think that's not how oxygen works.
It's kind of how oxygen works. Oxygen will make a flame very hot and burn very bright, but you still need fuel. But
yeah,
so the main question is, would the gas in your lighter be enough for fuel? We'll see. I need to try to figure out how to see if you can succeed
pure
with this.
oxygen isn't flammable. It just makes flammable things more flammable.
Exactly. It's called something, but I don't know the English term for it.
Yeah,
You're looking for acetylene.
Yeah, so like you would need something as a fuel to burn. So your lighter would kind of work, but it outputs so little fuel, so it would be like
it's just gonna make it a brighter flame. It's not actually gonna do
much. Exactly. So oxygen makes the flame brighter and hotter, but you still need like a fuel source to burn.
Any kind of aerosols?
Like I said a couple of times, you haven't found any in here. there was, I will remind you, the aerosol spray in the other office. I actually don't myself remember which office had it, but you did have air freshener in one office. And I don't remember what you used it for, but it's in the hallway you just came down from, and there was the office on the hallway where you trapped the zombies down there.
So
One of them
feel
had
like-
aerosol sprays. I think it's the room that you trapped all the zombies in had aerosols in
Yeah,
it.
because I think that's the only office we went into. other
No,
than
I
the
think
one-
you used it on the Ghost Witch before she took possession of Danny.
Oh, did I?
Did you? Okay.
And
I
it had
must
no
confess
effect.
that I must confess that I don't remember. No,
I-
yes,
I
right.
watched
It
the
was. No,
ending.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. I did too, but I forgot that part. Yes, you're completely correct. The aerosols was in the Viola Campton office. You did make a flamethrower. That's why you have a lighter, because that's when we concluded you have a lighter. And you tried to burn the spirit form of Viola, and it had zero effect on her.
Right. And I know I've asked this before. I'm pretty sure. Is there a fire hose in the wall?
Not in the wall. There is a fire hose out in the stairway where you came from.
Stairway?
In here, yeah. So you need to sort of get out into the corridor and continue to run the same way you've been running. You would get back to the stairway, and out there, like where the elevator and stairs are, that's where you saw that there is a fire hose in the wall. In here, there is a fire extinguisher, one of those ordinary powdered ones.
Yeah, that's not gonna do anything.
So like I said, I can give you this. I get you to try to use your lighter as an fuel source, and I will get I think it's mechanical repair. So you could roll me a mechanical repair to sort of make sure that your lighter outputs as much gas as it can to try to get it to be not a super efficient, but a somewhat flamethrower.
How many uses would I get out of it?
You would get one use out of it. You would get like the flamethrower once, and then it's a lighter. It would run out of gas.
Yeah.
But you would get one shot at making something of a flamethrower.
No.
You can push if you want to. If you want to try to tinker with it again, or you can burn luck. It's a lot of luck though.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna spend that luck.
Do you want to try to tinker with it again in some other fashion? If you fail twice, horrible consequences. But if you succeed, flamethrower.
Yeah, but horrible consequences. It's gonna blow up in my face, and I'm gonna take fire damage or something like that. No, sorry. I think I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
I do not want to risk it. And she's just like, oh,
Do you want Macca to have a look?
Yeah, if you can give it a shot.
I've got small chance, not a good one.
Yeah, if you want to
Jesus
try it.
Christ.
Macca, you realize that she has like turned the wheel that opens the vent the wrong way. It was as simple as that. You just reverse turn it. It's like righty tighty, lefty loosey, and now you have a one-time flamethrower. When you know that with utmost certainty, when you press down on the gas thing in the lighter, it will empty immediately. So it will just the whole, you sort of circumvent the pressure regulator that is in the lighter. So whatever pressure is in that compartment, the fluid part of the lighter, it will immediately expand into gas and just release it. So you built yourself a one-time use flamethrower.
Macca hands it back to her and says, watch over him. And he starts crawling into the ceiling where he removed the tiles.
Okay, sure. I would say I would
Let me
need...
close the door.
Don't you? Oh, I mean, let's say to climb through the ceiling. Not really what I expect a professor of whatever it is, cryptozoology is trained in. So I would say roll me a dex to see that you can actually crawl through the vent, MacGyver.
I can swim through the vents.
Holy crap.
Wow, with you have no idea. This is like some Indiana Jones shit right here. Macca being a professor,
He's a
not really
cryptozoologist. He spends time in the field a
It's
lot.
Crocodile Dundee over here.
Yeah, suddenly you have like the Indiana Dundee just getting up on the table, pulling himself up, disappearing into the drop ceiling, commando style, and he's gone. He's somewhere up in the drop ceiling now.
Yeah, and the door to the room that they're in is shut.
Yeah. Point of order: you can shut the door. You cannot lock the door. There is no physical lock on it. So
Yeah,
just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy is going to continue to furiously try to scrabble down the circle on the drop ceiling parts as he was told. Danny, before we return to you, we're going to do it, but I want to have the corruption bar. As I understood, we had some corruption. The first one I'm going to use, as you walk down the corridor, you notice how your body sort of stops in front of the door containing the zombies, looks to the left, just hits the door handle and opens the door, releasing 7 more zombies out into the corridor as your body walks slowly, purposefully down the corridor, following and going just through the horde. There's something now with your body making the zombies completely and utterly uninterested in you. You can just circle through without having any issue with the newly released zombies coming out from that room. And the orderlies and the doctor is way ahead of you, sprinting towards that door. What do you would like to do inside your own head?
He's annoying the ghost out of him. If anyone can do it, it's Danny. So now, what's your plan here, right? So you got my frail body that's dying, right? And then eventually it's going to die because you can't heal it because you're not like that kind of a witch. But so then you're walking around with a corpse, right? What's your end goal?
My end goal?
Yeah, you got a bunch of people
Revenge!
zombies.
Revenge on the men that burned me, burned my sisters. Revenge on all of them. The world shall know our anger.
Was that in like the 1600s or something? You know, it's like 2023, right?
No matter. It's been a while, apparently. It was in the good year of our Lord. 16. Oh, I can't even remember anymore. 1620, 1630. I don't care. The revenge, the time sealed away. I will have my revenge, so will we all.
So, I'm a bit of an antiques dealer, right? And so provenance is a thing that I deal with every once in a while, or at least I forge it, right? You know that it's been 400 years since you died, right? And that could mean like over 100 offspring from each of whoever these men are, right? That's like several hundred people you're going to have to kill, right? It's going to take you a while.
I don't care. All you men are the same. All of you. I will just bring down my vengeance, and me and my sisters shall soon have our... You can sort of feel the frothing at your physical mouth at this part. He is quite riled up at this point.
I don't... it was 1600s, right? You said, I don't know how good your numbers were back then, right? I know you didn't have like a schoolhouse, right? But it's 2020 something or other, and we have 7 billion people on this earth, right? I don't know if you know how many 7 billion is, but it's so many people. And if you're going to kill everyone, it's going to be very hard. And if you're only going to kill whoever the people that killed you were, it's still going to be very hard to find several hundred of them in a 7 billion of us, right? I'm just laying it out for you, because we have Google now, and I'm sure you didn't Google it in your ghost form. I don't know how good you are to researching things, but we have so many things and people now.
You hear something you're very convinced that this is like cursing towards you, but it's spoken in a language you have no apprehension of. Roll
Danny
me another
knows a curse regardless
power.
of language.
Yeah, it's definitely a curse. Power, still a penalty, because you don't get gooped, son.
Danny can spot a swear words in any language.
Oh yeah.
68 out of 56. Oh, and a bonus.
Roll the penalty because you can still critically fail. So no,
So
68.
Do I? I feel like that's too many. That's too many luck to spend.
You can try to push your will through, and then you get to roll again, but it's still with a penalty. You might be lucky that in 2 rolls you get a better result, but horrible consequences.
Am I lucky though? Given who Danny has been up to now, I don't think he is. So I'm gonna take the L on this one. I'm gonna take the fail.
You feel that very strong-willed presence. Now you get the feeling of a frothing maniac just pushing down on you, and your voice quits out. You can no longer speak. I will tell you how that will work mechanically, because of course you will get a chance, like a save, if you will. But we return to the laboratory. The door starts to be bashed. Was anyone of you holding the door? Fred is not. Mac is in the ceiling. Is Jen holding the door?
Yeah, she will be holding the door.
Strength check. You feel a very heavy bum hitting the door. So you need to succeed on a strength check to hold it closed. Do you want to luck or try to push it?
I guess I'll push it because they're gonna break it in, right?
They're trying to.
No, I'm not gonna possibly give you something dire consequences. So I'm just gonna leave it, and she's just gonna bracing it as hard as she can.
Door. You try to brace the door. You feel the physical force of 2 very heavy individuals. Something dense just hits the door, and even though you dig your heels in, metaphorically, the door just pushes open, and the arm comes in and makes a clawed swipe at you. Yep, it's going to try to take a swipe, and I just need to find. Are you? Nope, you're the zombie. Yep. Sorry, I've lost where. There we go. I just need to find where the thing is so I can actually attack you. It's going to try to make a swipe at you. It does fail. You could try to do nothing. Nothing would happen. To dodge it, nothing would happen unless you critically failed. But you can also try to fight back if you want to deal some damage towards the hand that tries to swipe at you. So it would be your fighting brawl against its then, and you need to have at least 1 success. Otherwise, technically nothing happens because
can I not
failed.
Shoot him? Around the door, boo boo.
Cthulhu rules when it comes to point blanking guns are really stupid, but yes, I will allow you to try it. But since you cannot both hold the door and shoot, either you take a penalty die on trying to shoot around the door, because they can as easily as smack your gun away because you can't see what they're doing on their side, or you have to release the door and then you get a pure ordinary shot at them.
I will take the penalty die.
Then you roll the fighting handgun, and then you press the penalty and take a penalty again, and we'll see how that goes. See if that's good, and then press the bonus penalty link, and you add the penalty. So 66 is still a success. You can roll damage.
Oh, thank God. Okay, 66. Oh, I wasn't sure how that was working. So my damage is a D10. And I actually have to freaking just roll it manually.
Sure.
3.
You fight against this door. You manage to get your gun up. You put it around the door and you just fire away, and you hear the unmistakably sound of from the gun, and that soft tissue wet noise of hitting something. And you also hear a from outside. It sounds like whatever is out there trying to get in, you're now even more certain it's not human.
And she can she try and close the door again? Does she get any kind of
Nope, you chose to shoot the
leverage?
gun instead. Next turn.
That's fine.
Maka, what are you trying to do?
Macca is looking for two things. He's looking for saline and a defibrillator.
Aren't you up in the ceiling?
Yeah, but I'm hoping he may have seen some on his adventures previously, and he's trying to find his way back to wherever he saw them.
Would be some kind of roll to see if you can recollect it. What would a nice
A
roll?
luck roll?
I mean, it's more like a history to try to get your memory to see if you remember where it was. I'm trying to quickly think of what would be an appropriate thing. I would say, looking at it, yeah, you know what? I'll give you an intelligence. Do you have the intelligence to just remember if you've seen something like that before? History is more like taught history. It's not like getting recent events.
He is old and his memory is failing him. So
Good burn luck, or try to do some mental gymnastics, do the memory mansion or whatever technique if you want to try to reroll and push.
I'll play into your little trap and I will try to push.
What do you do differently? What is he doing for trying to recollect the memories to be able to push?
So he's kind of scrambling through the roof, trying to think, and then he just thinks to himself, no, stop, take a breath, quiet your mind, and then try to recollect.
Okay.
Ooh, dire consequences.
Dire consequences. I love that. You try to remember. You crawl around getting up, and you're like, no, I need to stop. I need to remember. Need to focus. You stay up. Thing is, you didn't really count where you were staying, and you did not stay in the good place, and the ceiling gives in, and you fall down in the next room over. Not the room where you found the black goo and vials, but it was like that was the first room, then it was a middle room, and then it's the room where Jen is currently. You are currently in the middle room. Roll a dexterity to see how badly you fall down. That's not too bad. You fall down flat on your stomach, but because you did fall flat on your stomach, you have enough surface area to not sustain any actual damage. You're just prone on the floor, like, well, you get the wind knocked out of you. Also, Jen, you hear like a from the next room over. Up, and from what you can kind of hear from outside, so does the people outside.
Oh, great. Maybe that'll be distracting. And she looks to Freddy. How's it going, Freddy?
I'm nearly there. Few more seconds. And he's drawing. He's furiously drawing. Okay. And you can see like he's holding the note in one hand. The other thing there is, cramps the pieces with his knee to get them steady. And he's just like drawing for dear life.
Yeah. And then she's going to shoot again through the door.
Sure. You're going to do the same maneuver. Just shoot blindly out the door. Well, same thing then. Since you're shooting completely blindly and you have no idea if they're going to try to swipe your gun away or not.
Damn it.
No, this time they're waiting for it. You put your gun around and you like put it around fire, and you can feel something heavy just smacks it out so the shot goes straight up into the ceiling.
Okay. And because that's attack, I cannot push it, correct?
Exactly. We're not really in initiative order since a lot of things are happening in different parts, especially since Danny's not kind of in initiative. But I chose to put it like this. It just felt more fluid. So you do, however, notice that the pressure on the door eases up somewhat at this point. Moving us back to Danny. Danny, you are walking not by your own accord down the last corridor. You can see the two orderlies pushing, like trying to get in through that door. Doctor standing like very maniacally smiling behind them, sort of sharing them on. They're the muscle, he is the brains in that small operations over there. And you notice how you are very pointedly walking towards them. So, to be able to try to get your voice back, you now have to succeed on a regular power roll. No penalty, but you need to have a success on a power roll to be able to speak whatsoever at this time.
Fuck no.
You can still push or burn luck. Consequences, but you get your voice back.
I don't have 40 luck.
But you can push if you try to, do some mental gymnastics to get your voice back.
I'm spurned on by the fact that Snow just did it. So by doing it now, it puts the pressure on G to have to do it too. So I think I will take your dire consequences so that the next time you ask G, both Snow and I can look at her. So Danny tries to force his way, right? Like force his way through. And in his inability to do so, he has a sad, angry ghost in his blood, right? Happy people don't turn to crime. So he's just gonna think of every repressed memory that he can possibly dredge up to try to overwhelm this ghost. And fucking nailed it.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Sweet.
That's what he does. And so there's like a moment of muted silence as the ghost like represses Danny, and then it's like the sliding glass window scene in Ace Ventura. And another thing! I was doing just fine, right? And then he stabbed me. You see that? He got me stabbed right in the ribs. Where are we going, by the way? Sorry, I was yelling there. That was pretty rude of me. I'm yelling in my own head. It's just the two of us here. Where are we going? Where are you taking me? Have you thought about the 7 billion yet?
You tire me, mortal man.
Well, you chose
No
the annoying
matter.
one. I'm pretty irritating.
Oh, yes, but you were primed, or your flesh was, so you're easily manipulated to
I do
some
have a pretty
extent.
hot body. That's pretty accurate.
No matter. Your little friends will soon have joined me, and then Corina will come, and everything will be wonderful.
Karina, what is that? Also, they're not really my friends. I do like the old man, though. He's pretty keen, and we had a beer together. The lady, she just I think she's going to try to arrest me. She tried to fight me earlier, and I think she thinks I was banging her girlfriend or something. And Freddy, I volunteered to kill him for you. Not really my friends. So, just so we're calling it out here. The old man's cool. If you're gonna kill him last. Or don't kill him at all. He's got like a wife and a child or something, I think. I'm not sure. What's the plan here inside the hospital, right? So you got all the zombies, the crazies, right? And then you got your three friends there, the big guy with his weird jaw and the doctor lady man, whatever he is. I don't know. What are we doing here? Are you just unleashing a horde of zombies?
We are bringing all the little men into their place to serve us, to serve the coven.
Oh. Right. Now, you keep saying all the men, right? What about the ladies? It's pretty sexist if you're not going to, even it out, right? That's pretty anti-feminist, right? It's 2020. I don't know if you know this, but like, women have rights now. I know that you were kind of like kept in a hovel or something, right? In the 1600s, but like, you guys can vote now, and like, women hold office in the government, and they have jobs and stuff. It's pretty, Sure, they don't get paid as much, but like, it's one step at a time, okay?
And we will take the most glorious step. We will bring our sisters to the forefront, to our rightful place on top.
I feel like you're saying it like it's a really big step, and I don't think it's as big of a step as I think it is. It's kind of like a little hop to the right, you know? It's like they're almost there.
I need you to roll me another power, this time with the penalty. But this
Okay.
time it's not to silence you. You start to feel your body moving. You start to feel how your hand is trying to start to grasp at your throat. And you can feel that you know how your hand is supposed to feel. This is weird. It's like on your flesh, you feel your fingers, but there's something protruding beneath it. In another layer of reality, something is tearing at your throat, but it's not your physical one, but something is metaphorically and also quite literally trying to tear your own throat out at this time.
So I rolled a 62. I'm gonna spend 7 luck to
Okay.
hit a 55.
Sure.
And Danny moves this ethereal hand, right? Like in his mind. He moves
Yep.
it. No, but I'm serious. Like I'm telling you, like ladies have come real far, right? Since the 1600s. Like it's like a whole different Have you been outside, right? Have you seen? If you listen, you're in control here, but if you take me to a computer, right? I'll explain what it is. It's like a little box with like a window. Anyway, and then you just give me my fingers. I'll Google things for you, and you can see just how far ladies have come. It's not as big of a deal as you think it is. At least not turning into a horde of zombies and killing 100,000 people or so. But I think it's really more of a Can they protest the zombies? Can they hold signs?
You can hear inside your head the voice is sighing at you. Outside, like your body starts to speak. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then, as soon as it's supposed to say the next word, you hear the from the other room, and you can see your eyes moving as well as the doctor's head moving, and you can hear your voice. Check it out. They're moving through the rooms. Get them. And you can see one of the orderlies staying at the door while the doctor and the other makes for the other door to the other room hastily. Orderly being super quick about it.
Icon, I just have to ask,
Consequences.
did your plans involve me being as annoying as possible? Was that in your prep notes?
Kind of. Actually, it was.
Right.
My plans so far was that either you're dead
Yeah.
or you're in like this mental no space, like 11 is when
Yeah.
she's doing her shit.
Yeah, who thought I'd survive the first hour of this game? Not me.
Powered by Audacity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. I didn't know what the plan for your competitors was. If they had sort of sacrificed you, I had a plan going for that as well.
Great.
But currently they did not. They chose to run, and we're dealing with that now. So
What's a good thing Necro's not here.
Sure. We're about to come into that part, I believe. Yeah, they make for the other room, and they will make it very hastily. So we're gonna move into that room with Maka. You burst through, you get down like, and have now regained as much composure as that you can get up from the floor. What is your intent in this room?
I don't suppose I fell into a room full of saline solution and a defibrillator.
You did not. You fell into a room that was also a currently unused laboratory. You could do the same kind of spot hidden investigating to try to find what's in these drawers, and might be lucky and find what you're looking for.
I think he's going to book it back for the vent. Back away from where Jen and Rico are.
Okay, yeah, okay. I get you. Sure. the same thing here. You get up as soon as you make it to the vent. The door like slams open. An orderly stands there. I mean, it's still in hospital scrubs. Sorry, in hospital scrubs. They're a bit more like, shaken loose, a bit torn since they've been running around, not like caring about them. They were a disguise. Now they're mostly just there. And I need you to roll a dex to see if you can get through that vent before he can reach you. Being the Indiana, what did I call him? Indiana Dandy or something like that?
Indiana Dundee.
Indiana Dandy. In Indiana Dandy, you get up.
Fear is a great motivator.
Actually, you feel that your heart is racing. You jump out onto that counter that is right underneath the duct. You just grab it since the metal grate in front of it is already gone. You just lift up. You look and see that orderly booking it towards you, and you just feel your body pull like it's never pulled before, and you make it through that vent as it's nobody's business into the other side. You can hear behind you like the snarling, growling from whatever is chasing you. You are very certain with I'll give you an extra just because you had a hard success and you're like nailing it this game. You are very certain that the intent is that whatever's hunting you is gonna make it through that that duct as well. You've gained like a split-second advantage here, but it's on your heels. Jen, what are you doing as Maka is trying to avoid being mauled?
I am desperately hoping that Rico is done with his symbol.
He will be at the end of this turn. So he's like, yeah, I'm soon. Few more seconds, and I like these last few lines.
Okay, can he? All right. She's gonna be like, soon as you're done, put the ceiling tiles back up onto the ceiling. And she's going to again shoot blindly.
Sure.
At the orderly.
Same thing again. If you're shooting blindly, nope.
Wow. Have I succeeded at anything?
Run another penalty because you could critical fail and then the gun will jam.
What?
Yep, since it's at a penalty. So no, 90. It's like if you get, I think the failure rate for your gun is 99. It's either 99 or like somewhere close to that. If you get that, yeah. So if you get a critical failure on the gun, it will jam or something bad happens. But we'll see when we get there. So that's why it's important to roll even if you fail, because if you get that critical, I will enjoy it.
Sure. Oh God.
Sure. As you fire out once more, whatever's out there this time just moves. You don't hear that, wet sound of hitting something. You think you heard like the dry wall sound of just hitting the wall, the opposing wall. You're kind of certain that nothing came from that. More than that, your ears are kind of ringing at this point, firing 3 times within like not a super close quarters, but it's still indoors and close to you, and it's 3 times in a row now.
Yeah.
Freddy finishes up his drawing. He's like, I'm done. And he starts to pull up the different pieces back up into the drop ceiling. We come back to you, Danny. You are inside the body. It's currently moving over to the doctor and the other orderly, rushing into the other room. For the player to know it's the room where Maka is in. And it's really, it doesn't have any rush. Your body's just lazily moving along, feeling superior, and you have some of the connection with the spirit. You get the feelings of superiority, of pride, and of being in control of the situation.
Do I see or hear the gunshots coming out of the other room?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
They are ringing out of that room, but they are not hitting you.
Okay. And my body is walking towards
Yeah, your body is very
door.
nonchalant against the gunfire. It could not care less.
Cool. Danny again speaks to the ghost in his blood, and he says, "All right, hey, now I don't want to tell you how to do your job, right? I tried it already, and you didn't seem to like that too much. You tried to kill me a little bit. Just so you know, the loud thwump from the other room was probably the old guy, Maka. He's pretty cool. But the gunfire, right? That's the lady. She's pretty ornery, right? She has a gun because she's a cop, right? Now, if she has a gun and she's firing it, that means she's probably protecting something, right? Probably the wizard. So if I see that you're walking towards where the old man is, it'd probably be better if you walk towards where the wizard is, because he's a fucking wizard, right? And as I said, he's probably a better body for you to be in.
Roll me a
Just a heads
persuasion.
up.
You feel that you feel your body stopping, and you feel that
Oh, fuck off.
hesitation,
So close.
luck, or pushing if you want
No. Fuck
Okay.
it. I'll push. Why not?
to. Okay. Then
because-
what you feel that you feel that hesitation, your body stops. What else do you say
Um,
to try to bring home the point?
He's less annoying than I am.
that would be that would be a deception. Hold on a second. I'm checking my character here. One of us had black blood, right? Like a vial of it.
You did
You
have
threw
one.
it at Freddy at the end of the last episode.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So
So you had one, but it's now on the floor, smeared over where the original magic circle is.
great. Yeah, that's what he says. He says, "Oh, right. Before you jumped in my body, I did smash a vial of the gooey black goo on the wizard. So he has black goo. So you might be able to take him over, and then you'll be better off because he's healthy."
Yep. I'll allow a push.
Oh, I rolled it twice accidentally.
Yeah,
but a
but,
40 out
we'll
of
take
70.
Yep, we'll take that success. You feel that moment of hesitation. You add a part of the black goo on the wizard, and you feel, like the really kind of feeling burst through the mind of this spirit as you notice that your body turns and start to go towards that door where the orderly is trying to push the door open. Is currently being held in place by Jen.
Iquin, I have a follow-up question as a keeper of arcane lore. For some time now, did you ever think you'd run a Call of Cthulhu game where you said there's black goo on the wizard?
Well, I kind of accidentally also had, Danny knows his hands, so
your hands.
So I mean,
Get me out of here.
So sometimes you do slip up, but no, I did not, Mike. I did not.
You're welcome, buddy.
I mean, the point of Cthulhu is to be depressing, dark, and scary, and I don't really feel that I get that going either. So I mean, we're all good here.
You do your best. You do your best with what your cast gives you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm definitely depressed. Don't worry.
But it's fine. We're all having fun. That's the main point. We're moving on. Your body is slowly but very pointedly moving towards that orderly and that door. We're going to go back into Maka. Maka, you have a split-second advantage. What is your idea?
So Dogboy is going to launch himself through.
You are pretty certain because he is on your trail.
Mac has wrangled his fair share of beasts. He is going to position himself in a way that when it leaps through, he can get underneath it and use its own momentum to throw it down hard against something that's in its path.
Love it. It's right behind you. You position yourself and it sort of leaps out. I would say since you take the time to sort of get through, getting the advantage, trying to get its own momentum, you can have the brawl with a bonus die for this one. Roll again with the bonus. 10. I mean, you could pretty
I'll
much
go with the 10. I'll go with the 10.
I was like, I don't think. Yeah, well, if you roll a 0, it would be the best thing. Anyway, yeah, that is An astoundingly good success. Have you rolled anything less than like a hard success this game?
I failed going through the ceiling. That's why I fell down.
Hey, Danny, I think it's the luck of the Australians.
The luck of the upside down.
Yeah. You, being the cryptozoologist that you are, and also Australian, I think actually Macca was, if I don't remember, misremember it. I mean, anything that you encounter on a daily basis will try to kill you, because I have my things about Australia, chat. You take this beast, it jumps right down. You already know there's no way in hell you can bear that weight. So you just use that momentum, because you bet hard that that weight will serve you fine right now. And like the nice rugby player that you once were, you take that and you just redirect it and you drop down and smack that thing. It will get a dodge to try to get out of getting damaged, but that's all it's getting from that one. Why do I keep closing the character sheet for my little doggy dogs? There it is. Dodge, where are you? Dodge, there we go. It definitely fails. You smack that down. You can roll damage.
What sort of damage would that do?
It would be the, I think the base damage is 1d4 plus your build. So it's, what is your build?
It's on the combat screen.
It's on the combat screen. That's why I can't find it. Thank you. Build 0. So you get 1 point of damage into it, bringing it down. But it's like a down, while still keeping on your feet. You know, being agile, having like seen this encounter in your head. You're ready for it, and this, just for fun, let's say this one was the one with the unhinged jaw, and you just smack it face first, the jaw just and breaks off.
I'll take it.
Sure, that's for you. The doggy dog spent his thing trying to attack you through the grate. We're fine with that. Jen, you are muted.
Yes, I am. Okay, so Rico has put the ceiling tiles back in the ceiling. Hopefully putting.
Well, he's currently in the movement of putting them up. He will be finished by the end of this turn. I mean, tearing something down is much easier than getting them back up into place.
Yeah, for sure. So I need to do one more round.
You need to keep stalling one more round.
Okay, yeah. So she will shoot again through the door.
Okay. Ooh, an actual success this time. Maybe you still have the penalty.
Is that
remember, because you're shooting blindly, or are you giving up the door?
No, I pressed it. It says 0.
Okay. Then 42 is your worst, and it's still a success. So roll your damage. Roll 20 was just a bit late on my part.
Okay.
I see it now. It's fine.
5.
Yeah. This time you kind of starting by like wrestling this door back and forward with this thing. You know about where it's supposed to be, so you just go for a lower aim this time, and you feel when you get that hit, you press it, so once it tries to smack your hand away, you still get a good aim at it, and you hear that boom as you hit it. It's still standing and still growling, and it's now furious at you, and you can feel that it's the intensity of the bashing once again rises up, as it's now very much want to get at you into that room, and at this time is going to try to take another swipe at you as well as its action.
She's like, bad boy, bad boy.
And
Lie
it
down.
fails. So yeah, you see that arm starting to come in again. You just press on the door, and it's like, and the arm goes back out. Man, you guys are lucky this session. It's going great for you.
In terms of this being attacked, yes. Oh god.
Yeah, so you managed to hold it for one more round, giving Freddy the time to reassemble the ceiling now with all the tiles in place with the circle up on the inside of it.
Sweet.
Yeah, there was Macleod. Danny, we're coming back to you. You still feel that your body's moving, and you are now reaching up to right behind the orderly. Suddenly, gun comes out. You sort of are aware that Jen's been shooting, and now you kind of see close up the gun comes out, shoots the orderly straight in the stomach. You, as Danny, notice that it doesn't really seems to be bothered by it. It more gets angry from it. And your spirit host or like intruder and your body doesn't seem to care either which way.
Does it feel like I'm still moving towards the room that Jen's in?
Yeah, that's you've moved closer and you're right outside the door. Some behind the scenes, if she had missed that shot, guess who's gonna get hit?
I can't imagine who. Yeah, I think like Danny doesn't know what the spell does. On one hand, he is trying to sacrifice Freddy. On the other hand, he's smart enough to know that they would try again with the circle. So he's going to he's not going to say anything that would dissuade her from going in that room. But he is going to keep talking because being silent would just be suspicious. So he's just going to keep rambling on. Things of no consequence. Like, he's not trying to convince her of anything because she's kind of doing what he wants her to do. So he just continues to ramble.
She is not going to answer you. It's more like a growing annoyance that at the end of your turn leads to she's trying to compress you down to silence again. Power roll with penalty die. You want to...
No. We'll take that one. He gets quiet.
She's silence you, but at least you know that you're silent not because you want to be silent and suspicious, but you are silent by no means of you. You are pressed down to what could almost feel like a little ball of conscious inside her. You can feel like a external pressure on your soul, very, very hard, trying to silence you and make you go away. You've gotten to her. You're fairly certain that you've gotten to her good at this point.
Yeah, lady. That's it. That's all he does. He remains quiet for now. He's waiting like a coiled cobra.
It's fine. You're going to try to do stuff. We're going to go back into Macca. Macca, you're now in the room with a jawless, very angry mix between a giant man, and something that could be loosely described as dog-like in features.
Macca has... Oh, he's Australian, so he wrestles crocodiles all the time.
Of course he
does. He's still carrying the bag that they got from at the very beginning.
Right. Yeah, I guess you would. I think you were the one that took that bag. I actually forgot about that bag. It was kind of burglary stuff in it. Yeah, right. It was the random shit that Teddy McCarthy, a very wealthy archaeologist, thought you would need for burglary operations. It was like knife, rope, and random shit in it.
Very bad disguises.
Rope is exactly what he's looking for right now. He is going to try to hog tie this dog while it's on the ground.
Okay, that's a fighting maneuver, so it's your brawl, and he gets to defend with his dodge or brawl, so he's going to try to dodge you and roll out of the way. Oh shit! He needs to meet an extreme success. Let's go.
Oh my god.
He does not. Yeah, before whatever this creature is comes to, like the alligator wrestler Australian you just get that rope whipped out and you are down and hog tying him like your national pastime is.
He is in his element.
Yeah, that is extremely lucky. What the fuck, Snow?
We needed it.
Yeah,
Trust
we
me,
do.
we need it.
Kinda does. I actually say that I did not see this game coming into this kind of situation. It's going much greater for you than I anticipated. Anyhow, Jen.
Yeah. Now
Last term ended with Freddy sort of, getting the last pieces up, jumping down from the table he was standing on to get the pieces up into the ceiling again. What are your intentions this turn?
well, this might be where some of our luck changes. We need to get this bitch inside. So her plan is to open the door and hopefully be able to take out this this dogman guy.
Dogman
And-
guy.
Yeah, because she's
I
already
love-
injured him. She's injured him twice already, so
I love
hopefully-
Dogman guy. I'm just gonna say Dogman guy was.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, and she's going to hopefully entice this possess Danny into the room so he can get underneath the symbol. So yeah, she is gonna look to Freddy and be like, "Are you ready?" And she's showing him that she is gonna open the door so he can do whatever the fuck he's gonna be doing, either hiding or
You see that he backs off into the opposite corner, like diagonally from the door, the other corner, as far as he can get out. So he sort of climbs down from the table that direction, and he just sort of nods at you.
yeah.
He's still holding the papers because that has the words he needs to read to sort of
Yeah.
activate the spell. And part of his nod is like meaningfully at you, like at your hand holding the gun. So he hopes he knows. He tries to signal like, I hope you know what you have to do now.
Well, I hope I know too. So she's going to open the door and shoot straight at the dog guy dude.
Okay.
Hopefully take him
No,
out.
you can then shoot. Normal roll. Moving from the door, taking a shot at him.
Oh, thank God. She hit.
Yeah. Roll the damage.
Oh. That's not the right spot. roll and roll 20, not in Zoom.
Would be better if you roll in roll 20. I think the chat and the audience would also accept.
Thanks.
If you if you open your character sheet and go to the combat tab, if you have a gun, you should be able to
Yeah.
click on the gun itself and it should roll.
I did. That's when it rolled me with a difficulty of 10 and not my 70%. It rolled me with 10%. So
There might be things back and forth, just to keep things moving along, because I am not doing a 6th episode of this. We're going to just go with the flow. Actually, that is enough. 6 points of damage is right what you needed.
yeah.
You open the door, getting steady, now seeing your target. You take up aim as a police
Just, like,
officer.
straight down
Yeah,
the
as a
sight.
police officer, straight down. You steel yourself. You press that trigger. You squeeze it in. Take a breath. Slow breathing out. Aim. Shoot. Headshot. You take it. You see how that orderly, snarling, grabbing, claws coming against you, just and falls forward, slumping down. It's not moving anymore. Also, showing behind that orderly, Danny is standing, looking menacingly, smiling at you, looking into the room, All of you, both you and Freddy, can hear a soft laughter emanating from Danny. And then you also hear the
And she
weird
waves.
half Danny, half pitchy, scrawny voice coming out. Well, no matter. I will make done of you soon.
Yeah,
You
come at me,
sister.
bitch. Let's go. And she's gonna back up.
You sister, why are you opposing us? We're going to make life so much better for all of us. Help me. Help me rid the world of these pesky men. And she looks over at Freddy and starts to walk towards him.
Yeah, I may not be into men, but yeah. We can't have any of this shit that you're talking about, okay?
I'm not into men, but yeah.
It's not my jam, but come on. You're making us look bad over here. And she's making eyes at Frey to make sure he knows. Obviously, he knows to try and move around to get her to get underneath the symbol.
Yeah, like he's in the opposing corner, like I said, so she's heading that way to be able to get to him.
Is she going to be walking underneath the symbol?
Yeah, she's going to be walking underneath the symbol.
Okay.
The thing is, and I explained this to you as a player because I had to explain this to Chris, and I'm going to have explained it around. It's not just that she has to be in the underneath the symbol and die. He needs to cast the spell, and she needs to still be there once he's done. And as he says the final words, then you need to kill her, and she needs to be in the circle. As she kind of muddy now because there's two spirits in one body.
Yeah, and
you would like you.
I have to hold her in place.
Your character would kind of know this ish from what Freddy would have. I think he actually went through it in an earlier episode, so your character would also know of that. You kind of need to have them. All of these things need to go 1, 2, 3 and fit for this spell to take effect.
So I need to hold her in place because it's not
essentially.
She's not like
yes.
trapped inside of it, right?
No, essentially, the trap is sprung once she dies. So you need to keep her in the correct position on the floor as Freddy reads the incantation. And then when he ends the incantation, then she needs to die at the last words fall underneath the circle, or like inside the circle, which would now be underneath since it's drawn on top of the ceiling.
Yeah. So she's going to make to grapple this bitch.
Sure. You can. This is going to be fun because you will roll a fighting brawl because you're doing a maneuver, and Danny, your body is going to respond by trying to get loose, which is also a fighting maneuver and a fighting brawl. So both of you roll, and the one with the most successes wins. And if it's a failure, she's going to move on. So you didn't manage to grapple her, and she didn't manage to really think. So it kind of turns into that, siblings trying to grapple each other, and it's just like going back and forward until Danny sort of like just elbows your arm away, not paying you too much mind. You can see that he sort of turns his head a bit more. You can hear like a snapping as his neck goes like a whole 60 degrees back, looking at you and like, sister, not nice, not now. And it sort of pushes you, not hard, but just pushes you enough away so she can get loose, continue to walk away towards Freddy. Freddy's going to take up the paper, and he starts the incantation, just, looking wide-eyed and panically at you while he reads off the paper. It takes his turn to read it, so you need to get her there kind of fast to be in the right position.
Yeah.
Maka, what are you doing in this? We're going to move over to you now.
I think we can agree, when there's no point in rolling at this point. I'm going to succeed. Is there a defibrillator in this room?
You still have to roll a spot hidden. I want that to be.
He wants that satisfaction.
I want to see your hubris. Fuck yes, yes, hubris, calm down.
Here's the thing: don't make Snow look for things. Only let him punch things. Punch and run.
Burn that luck, or tell me what you do differently to try to find that defibrillator and push it.
I'm going to push. He is going to. He realized he was looking for the defibrillator, when in fact he should just be looking for the little sign above the defibrillator that lets you know where it is. So he is going to look for that instead.
Sure.
And fail even worse.
Nah. You tear around in this room, just trying to go. And I'm going to use my second corruption bar as well for this. So it's both your bad consequences combined with the corruption bar to give even more bad. You are so enticed in trying to find the defibrillator that you didn't really pay attention to this creature. And when you're sort of hogtied things before, they usually stay hogtied and get domesticized or like docile at the end. This creature does not, and it seems to be slightly more intelligent than what you're used to. So suddenly you hear a right behind you, and he's going to try to scratch you with his claws because he made it out, and I'm burning one corruption bar and a bad consequences to do this.
Now you just hear the bone cracking and all his bones just like reverse on themselves.
God fucking damn it. These things can't fight for nothing.
Oh.
You hear the snarling. That if that hadn't come and tipped you off, you would have been completely taken by surprise and clawed in the back. You can choose to just do nothing, stand there, and his swipe will miss. Fighting back, getting a success will deal damage back. Or you can try to dodge out of the way, creating some distance between you if you succeed. Otherwise, you would still be in the same spot.
He is going to try to dodge out of the way.
Do so. If you succeed, you... Yep, of course you do, because now it's a fighting maneuver. So you hear that snarl instinctively, knowing that anything that is a creature is trying to kill you and you need to evade at any cost, and you just evade away. And the swipe sort of, you can hear the wall scratch like behind you, as drywall now have 4 long scratches along it right where you were standing. You end up having the back against the door and the creature in front of you. So that's where you are in space. So you have free access to the door, but something might enter behind you from that door. You try to search, that creature tried to attack you. We're going into Danny for a while. Danny, what are you trying to do in this?
I'm trying to figure out how to not meta this. So Jen tried to pin me in place, right?
She tried to grapple your body at least. That's great. You can still get the information from your senses as normal.
Yeah. Jen has a gun and she killed the last ghost. So I know that if she wanted me dead, she'd just shoot me in the face. I'm going to focus all of my intent on keeping 1 foot on the ground. Like pinning 1 foot to the ground. Like take control of just my foot so that she can't move my foot.
Okay, it's a power roll. This time it's a contestant that you will roll with power, and she will also try to power.
Fucking yes, suck a dick, Iquin.
Wow.
Fuck you, ghost lady.
You actually win. She only
I
got
rolled
a
a
hard
4.
success,
Of course I win.
Well, it's the amount of successes that win, and you have an extreme, which is 3 successes, and she has a hard, which is 2. So yes,
that's what I say about that. So Danny just like he's still quiet in his head, and you just see his leg kick out at a weird angle and just stomp on the ground. which is not like the rest of his body is doing whatever the witch commands it to do, and just his leg just jams out at an awkward angle and stomps on the ground. Probably loud enough for like both Jen and Freddy to see him just like stomp randomly. That doesn't match the rest of what his body's doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's what he does.
As described, it's described as Jen. That's exactly what you see happen. Like he is walking towards Freddy, where suddenly one leg sort of stops walking while the other is trying to, resulting in some weird kind of like zombie shuffling part. Speaking of which, at this time, you can all hear that shuffling sound coming from outside because this is about the time it takes for a horde of zombies to shuffle its way across the corridor. You
close the door.
You're kind of well, you could if you want to, but you hear that that shuffling like coming from outside. Both Maka and you, Jen, are hearing it. So, Jen, what would you like to? Yeah, of course. It's Call of Cthulhu. It never gets better.
That's what she says, and she's going to.
I get it.
Can I grapple him and then try and push the door shut with my foot?
You are not that close to the door. You would need to give up the grappling to get the door, or you would need to give up the door if you want to continue the grappling.
Okay, well, you said each corridor is 120 feet long.
About.
And they've rounded the corner. So, in theory, I have another round.
No. They have made it down that 120 feet of corridor.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There's like all these rounds where you were doing stuff. That's time that the zombie horde has just, shuffled up.
Okay, well, she's going to close the door. So she will have to give up the grapple momentarily, but he's also got this weird lead foot thing going on. So
there is a weird lead foot going on, which considerably slowing him down. So he hasn't left the circle just yet. You are uncertain if what is going to happen, if Danny's going to have time to leave the circle, or if Freddy's going to have time to finish the incantation. Currently, you don't know exactly, you saw where it was drawn, but since as I pictured it, the circle is facing upwards, so you're not completely sure where it ends as when Danny will exit from the circle.
Yeah.
So you could just go for the grapple, or you could go for the door. You have to choose. There's too much space in between for you to be able to reach both.
Yeah, well, she's gonna close the door because if the zombies are gonna be there, we need the time. So she's gonna close the door.
Okay. You run away and you smack the door closed. Maka, same thing for you. You have a beast in front of you and coming from behind the door behind you.
Mecca is. What will he do? He likes his chances, I think, with the zombie horde more than the dog boy. So he is going to open the door, crouch low, and try to roll out somewhere into the corridor, shutting the door behind him.
Sure. I'm gonna say that rolling out the door is a fighting maneuver because the beast is going to try to swipe at you as you try to get away. Because he's mad and he wants this to end. Or he rather wants you to end. So fighting maneuver.
He wants me to end, or you want me to end?
Actually, I do want you generally to succeed, but I'm gonna play my characters as they would play.
Fair.
He does not hit you because apparently I can't roll for shit today. I don't think I've rolled under 50 today. Have I? On anything? Okay, right. I had a 47, so okay, fine. I had rolled under 50. Doesn't matter. I need fighting brawl. I will count it as fighting maneuver to both dodge that scratching and roll out the door. So if you fail, you make it out the door, but it's not closed. You try to roll out doing that Indiana Dundee stuff out the door, but as you have to mid-roll dodge claws coming swiping at you, you don't get the door with you and leaves it open behind you. Rolling out into a corridor, you are faced with about 15 or so zombies, seeing that more are coming around the corner as you roll out. And they're coming from that, corridor you ran towards earlier in this episode. And they're sort of just, milling out from that. They have gone the whole circle around now and come back. Some of them are already at the doors. So about when you roll out of the corridor, you heard a shmuck of the door where Jen is getting closed. And there's like just wailing out zombies from the other corridor there. They don't seem to... they don't seem to have any particular target as such. Some of them are heading your way, some of them are heading towards the door. They seem to just go to whatever makes sounds like differently. So some are heading for the door because that made sounds, some are heading for you because they heard sounds from you rolling out.
Macca will just do a loud cooey and try to draw their attention.
Okay, yeah, you succeed. A lot of them are looking up and starting to get drawn towards you instead. Some of them you don't really know what they're going to do because there's like still rounding the corner and it's unclear if they're going to follow you or if they're going to do something else. Beast is certainly going to give chase to you because he is getting ready to get that. You took care of the door. Danny, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to keep yourself in place? Doing something else?
Yeah, that's all he's trying to do is stay there.
Contestant powers again then. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to have no.
Listen, I bought you 1 round, G.
Yeah.
You try to get that and you feel that overwhelming annoyance again as you try to keep your foot in place, and it's feel heavy and it feels like when you just tense your muscles and then move. That's the kind of feeling when you try to fight it, but move you do. You don't know where you're supposed to be in this room, but it's you can feel your body's moving towards Freddy.
And he's still quiet, right? He can't talk.
If you would like to try, you can roll me another power to gain your voice back.
Oh yeah,
I will allow it. Yeah,
39.
You can talk again. You can talk again.
Yeah, he just begins again. Now that he gets his voice back, he says, "Oh right, there he is. You did it. You got inside the room with a wizard. He's right there. You just see, he's probably casting spells right now. I would bet he's doing wizard shit. Just leap into his body and leave mine out of it."
That's all it says. As you say, he's casting spells and shit. You feel a renewed focus. You feel like it goes from, oh, I see a male that I want to make into a zombie or conquer, and you feel that the spirit's focus shifts and focus more on what that male in front is actually doing. You might just have tipped up the witch of what is happening here.
That's all he says. But, I mean, it's true he continues talking because he never shuts up.
Jen, we're moving to you. Door is closed, and you see how Danny's limp foot suddenly sort of weirdly starts to move again, and he moves towards Freddy. As of now, he is on the brink. He might be inside the circle. He might have just exited it. You're not completely sure, but if it takes much more steps than that, he will for sure be outside of the circle.
Yeah. She's gonna grapple him again and try and pull him backwards into where she believes the circle is. All right. Come on.
Both of you roll fighting brawl, Danny and Jen, because it's contested.
Could I spend some luck on that?
Since this is more of a fighting situation, so we know these are the ones you don't get to redo, and it just slips out of your grip. I mean, he's a thief. He's he don't want to get arrested, so he avoids cops, and he knows how to get out of a tough bind to run away. And his body still seems to know that. Sorry, he moves out of your grip and it's slipped. We move out into the corridor. Maka, the beast is going to close in. He is like purging to leap at you, and at least some of the zombies, I mean, the ones you can see, the about 15 or so of the that you know of, 20 plus zombies is moving towards you, or are moving towards you.
He's just trying to get away. He is going to make a run for. He's going to make it. Are the elevator doors open?
You don't know because you can't see them from this vantage point.
Okay.
You need to run up the corridor a bit, and then you can get into that.
So he'll
The-
head
the
in that
elevator-
direction.
Yeah, the elevator and the staircase isn't kind of like a nook, so you have to go, like this corridor is different than the others since it has that extension where the elevator shaft and staircase is. So once you run up this turn, then you can see if the elevator is open or closed.
Yeah. So he's just going to try to run.
Sure, you run. They going to shuffle. That beast thing is jumping out and is running after you. So we leave you at running. We're going to go back into Danny. What are you trying to accomplish?
What does it feel like I'm doing?
It feels like you are you were perching towards Freddy. You wanted to sort of take control, like with everything else. It was more like murderous rage, controlling, revengeful kind of feelings, all negative, very strongly. Then you said he might be he's casting spells already, and you felt a hitch, a slight, not like hesitation, but shift of focus to wait, what is actually going on here? And now you're still moving towards, but it feels like at a brisker pace. It's more of a panic setting in, a recollection, and something from memory long ago being recollected, and it's not good. You can certainly feel a worrying, panicky feeling starting to set in.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'll try the leg thing again. Basically, he's trying to get himself
Okay.
To stop moving.
Roll me power. It's your will. Fuck yeah, man. That is some epic rolling, you guys.
Holy
You feel that consciousness, you feel that panicky. You use that slight lapse of judgment of keeping you in control to once again take control of one of your legs. Jen, you wrestle. Danny sort of leaps out from your grasp, and then suddenly again, one foot just stops, like it was glued into the ground.
Yeah,
and
like you
stops
like
moving.
you see the like Danny walking forward, and then one leg like kicks out backwards, and then like plants like the toes into the ground. So he's standing in like a weird half lunge.
Yeah.
That just seems
Jen,
out of place.
You hear Freddy getting. He can't stop the incantation, but by inflection in his voice, you hear that he's panicking, getting close to being finished, and he needs you to place Danny in the correct position now. You will have this round, and you are not certain if Danny is currently too far out or in position. You would know that backing him up 1 or 2 steps would make you feel much more comfortable having him in the place he needs to be.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna do it. And there's no way I have to do a fighting maneuver to do this, correct?
That's it. That is the fighting maneuver, because Danny, as his host body, is going to try to resist it. So it's fighting maneuvers for both of you, trying to you're trying to grapple him. He's trying to avoid being grappled. It's just not moving out of the way, but it's a combination of moving, strength, slapping your hands away while you're trying to grasp him and move him backwards.
Okay.
Failure on Danny's body's part. So this is all you need.
Oh. See, and I can't push it. That's why I'm like, I can't.
It ends. And you know what? Viola has exactly 50 luck. I'll say that this ends the incantation. This turn, it was actually also when I planned him to have recited the incantation and be finished with everything. He finishes, and he sort of finished the incantation and screams, "Now!" And do you take the shot? You don't know if it's in place or not, but it's now or never. Do you take the shot?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm supposed to.
You have to kill him. You have to kill him to seal the spell. Do you take the shot?
Yeah, I guess so. Yep.
If the luck fails, she's in the circle. If the luck succeeds, she made it over the barrier. She was in the circle.
Fuck.
The shot rings out. Danny buckles to his knees, falls over forward. The ceiling burns in the pattern of the circle. There's eminent light coming from everywhere. Danny, you hear screaming, rage, fury, scaredness, panic, all of it. Just a primal rage as you feel yourself being pulled down. You see a light, a fiery hellscape pit open up below you as the soul of you and the soul of Viola Campton gets pulled down. And then you will leave this episode, Jen standing with a smoking gun on top of Danny, Freddy buckling to his knees, Maka running to the elevators, while the beast and the zombies toppling over suddenly all at once, just losing their feeting and stops moving. And everything goes back from that purpley hellish light to normal nightscape for a normal city. And there's an airy quiet in the air. Thank you. We end our session here.
Literally right on time. Like literally like dead nuts 6 o'clock my time. That's funny.
Oh, I didn't want Daddy to die.
A 5-episode one shot, 2 years in the making. Yeah, outstanding. Let's go around, do our introduction so we can get out of here and do our after show. Again, if you want the after show for this show and all of the other one shots, all of the other campaigns we do, they're available on our Patreon at the $5 tier. Join us at the $10 tier, and you get access to all of that, as well as Q&As and some prep streams and other cool stuff. All that goes back to helping the channel with overhead and any of the other cool stuff we want to do, like new projects coming up. That being said, let's start with our illustrious keeper of arcane knowledge. Iquin, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hello, I am Iquin, keeper for this game. I am the friendly neighborhood Swede for this community, and unless there's some other Swede, give yourself to know. I hang out in the Discord. You should come join because there is a looking for group there. So if you want to play with me, I always looking for new people to torture. I mean, players to have fun with. And you should definitely give it a visit. And I am very open and I run games from now and then. And I look for players in that very Discord.
Hell yeah. Our moderator and community manager of said Discord, G, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet and what are you up to?
Hi, I am G, the friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. Like Mike says, you'll find me in the Discord, you'll find me modding for the streams, you'll find me in everything for the Patreon, and you can follow me on Twitter at lightningspaz09.
Hell yes. And last but not least, Snow, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Normal Snow. You can generally find me in the Patreon games, the campaign and the one-shots, and in Discord.
And that is it for us. Thank you for hanging out. Again, check us out on Patreon, link down below. Check us out on Discord, link also down below. And thank you so much for being here and watching all 5 of these episodes. And if you're just here for the last one, you haven't seen the rest, go check them out. They're on YouTube. But that's it from us. We'll see you next time for more of these shenanigans. From all of us to you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.